Okay, folks, Andrew Bopros here. Well, it's trade deadline, and Joe Ortiz struck again. And actually, he made two trades. One I predicted yesterday. We did get Trevor Penning, and we also traded Jasir Taylor away to the Jets, which I thought was a little strange, but kind of made sense for the Jets specifically. So, plenty to talk about in this video, guys. As always, let's get into it. Okay, folks, as always, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content. I'm Andrew Bopros. So, lots to talk about this, guys. We got Trevor Penning, but we also traded away Jasir Taylor. And Jasir Taylor wasn't going to see the field, right? He was traded to the Jets, but Trevor Penning is big. Guys, if you remember in the 2022 draft, we were just starting our podcast at that time, and we were wanting Trevor Penning as an offensive lineman. He was nasty. There was all these videos that kind of went out about him just being all just reckless and smashing dudes, in the what do they call it? The Omaha drill? What's that called when you use one-on-one? And man, he just was nasty. And so a lot of people really liked him. Didn't quite play out well with the Saints, though. I mean, he kind of didn't have the highest PFF grades. We'll go into that a little bit later as well, too. But the initial move added offensive lineman Trevor Penning in a deal with the Saints. The Bolts acquired the former first-round draft pick in exchange for a 2027 sixth-round draft pick. Now, the Chargers also traded Jasir Taylor to the Jets for a 2028 conditional seventh-round pick. So, and that's pending a physical because Jasir Taylor has had some injury issues, right? So, I think if he clears the physical, he'll most likely just be over at the Jets, which I'm sure he will. But it's a big move for the Chargers. The interesting thing about that too is it also is really good because we only have 5 picks next year. We saved all 5 of those picks next year for this trade. And man, Trevor Penning, he's a good player, man. Like, I love him to death. We'll talk more about him as well too. So there's some stats I want to go through with him as well. So let's talk about Trevor Penning. And again, I talked about this yesterday where I really felt like we might go after Trevor Penning, and lo and behold, he was picked up. So the thing is, Penning, was a 19th round pick out of Northern Iowa, kind of a smaller school. Moved to right tackle, but the Saints selected Talasi Fuaga in 2024, and Fuaga moved to right tackle in the offseason. Penning was also moved to, I believe, was it guard? I can't remember exactly, but anyways, he's had 3 straight position changes since he's been with the Saints, right? So he's moved up and down. For us, that's exactly why you want Penning. He can play left tackle, he can play right tackle, he can play guard, which is pretty amazing, especially with how banged up this damn line has been. If I had to guess, I'm not seeing anybody really talk about it specifically. He most likely would play left tackle, I would assume. Now, I don't know that for sure, so we'll have to see how it goes. Again, he's also a free agent at the end of 2025, so I think that's partially why the Saints were fine letting him go, because they probably were not going to re-sign him. Again, I think Again, I did not think we were going to get an offensive lineman, but a guy like Trevor Penning makes sense because it's his final year. Probably is not happy with the Saints, and he wants to go to a competitive team. The Chargers are a competitive team and will be in the playoffs, so it's exciting. Again, I think he probably will play left tackle. That used to be my guess, but we'll see. And I do, again, we have $111 million next year. Hopefully they get to retain him and have him for next season. It's a spectacular move, guys. I cannot say this is amazing. And the other thing too is Bobby Hart is also out. Trey Pipkins hasn't played great, but if you leave Pipkins at right tackle, you can probably just put Trevor Penning at left tackle and be okay if he'll play. So we'll see. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm giving you my first initial thoughts on this. If you think he's going to play somewhere else, you let me know. Leave a comment down below. But again, Trey Pipkins, Jamari Sawyer at left. We'll see how it plays out. But again, he can play anywhere on the offensive line, which is amazing. So, heck, maybe they'll put him at left guard. I kind of doubt it because Foster Sorrell's actually played fairly well, which is kind of surprising. But again, a conditional 2028, or I'm sorry, what did we give up again? We gave up a 2027 6th round draft pick. That's not bad for us, guys. 2027, that's 2 years down the road. So it's like, who cares? But again, we get a 2028 conditional 7th round pick to the Jets. So we'll see how that plays out too. So again, we didn't give up anything in the near future. We still have 5 draft picks, which is great, and some conditional picks potentially. But this is awesome. So I'm excited about it. Now, Let's just kind of rate where we're at on this as well, too. So I know a lot of people are like, well, he's not that great. Again, the Chargers have a 76% chance to make the playoffs this year, and a 4% chance currently to win the Super Bowl. So that's ESPN's power index, which is like who the hell cares. Again, you cannot understate how bad the Alt injury is. Joe Alt is a freak of nature stud. Him being out for the season absolutely freaking sucks. And by the way, the Chargers, the interior O-line has struggled. We are 29th in pass blocking and a 24th in run blocking rate this season. So the internal offensive line has been horrible. So again, I don't know where they're going to put him. Trevor Penning, again, your guess is as good as mine. Again, I think left tackle, but we'll see. But again, a lot of people, ESPN's grading this a C+, and the Saints get a B+ out of it. At least they get a trade, they get a draft pick, but who freaking knows? The Chargers need some depth on that offensive line. I think I would give us this at least a B+ for sure. Penning has experience in both tackle and guard, and either position. Tackle is most likely. Now, he struggled earlier in his career with a 72.7 pass blocking win rate in 2023. Pretty much last amongst tackles that to qualify. That's probably why they moved him to guard. Again, our tackle play without Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater has been absolutely abysmal. So Trevor Penning will be an upgrade for us at this point, right? He improved in 2024 with an 85.1% pass grade over the first 17 games at right tackle. Again, that's still merely below average. So again, not amazing. But my point is, he's done a lot better. Now, again, when he was moved to guard, he recorded a 93% pass blocking win rate average for all guards and a 67.5 run block rate below average, right? So again, we'll see how it plays out. I personally still think they're going to go left tackle, but we'll see. Again, he's played all three positions. We'll see what happens at this point. So I'm excited to see them do this. But before I get into Jasir Taylor, let's get a word from our sponsor. Ever heard of the Sleeper app? Here's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. Bolt Bros use it. We love it. This year, millions of users enjoy playing fantasy sports on Sleeper. But the app offers so much more. Live stats, real-time updates on visualization on all stats, news feeds, lightning-fast updates of your favorite players and teams, all sports. Real-time chat, engage with other users about individual players and plays and performances during the NFL and NBA season. Download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. Use code BOLTBROS to get a 100 deposit match up to 100. Okay, guys, you like that wardrobe change? Absolutely amazing. But what would you grade this trade for Trevor Penning? I mean, bottom line, I think it's an amazing grade. Good, bad, and different. I mean, look, guys, we have got to fix that offensive line. It's been an absolute disaster. And Justin Herbert's just been an absolute punching bag. So I'm glad we got this guy. I didn't think this would happen. I really did. I did this video yesterday. Hopes and dreams we get Trevor Penning. We got him. Absolutely amazing. So I'm excited that we got him as well, too. So a lot to talk about on that. So now we did trade away Jasir Taylor. The Jasir Taylor trade for me is a little bit interesting, right? Here's the thing about Jasir Taylor. He was not going to play much anymore. Like, he just wasn't. So he hadn't been on the field hardly at all. There was a lot of reasons to let him walk. And unfortunately for Jasir Taylor, he kind of became, I don't want to say the word irrelevant, but I'm sure he wanted to play. Again, Taylor was a 2022 6th-round pick, same draft class as Trevor Penning. Played 57 games for the Chargers. By the way, last year he was actually a very high-rated corner. But because, we had so many people in the corner room, he just wasn't getting on the field, right? He actually did pretty well in special teams and all the above. But he's also scheduled to be a free agent after the season. So it made sense to probably get something for him at this point, right? And again, ask yourself this question, why? He actually did really well when he was on the field. Now, some people argue all day, oh, he sucks, he was horrible. I actually thought he was a pretty good player. But again, while Taylor was a valuable player on special teams, emergence of youngsters like Nico Reed, Eric Rodgers in training camp and preseason, and now Dean Leonard just came back, who's really good at special teams as well, too. Again, at some point, you just got to move away from someone that was probably not going to see the field. And this makes perfect sense. You get something for a player that most likely was not going to sign for the team anyways. It's a conditional pick. You get to move forward. Again, look, bottom line, it's going to be great. Now, again, getting something for a player that most likely was not going to sign is really why we just moved away from just Taylor. And I do believe, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, the Jets traded away Sauce Gardner, if I remember correctly. Again, I've been gone, just barely got back, and I'm not quite sure. So leave a comment down below. It's probably why they traded him away. They needed some more help on the corner room. But it is what it is. I mean, he's obviously not Sauce Gardner. You know that. I know that. Hell, the NFL knows that. But at the end of the day, Justin Taylor is a very good player. And remember, last year, too, guys, he was playing with a broken leg pretty much the entire season. So say what you want to say about Justin Taylor. The guy can ball out, and he played really hard with a lot of heart. So he had some serious injury concerns. So, guys, what do you think of this trade? Again, I'm hyped. Guys, it's so exciting to me to finally see a general manager actually do his job, right? Joe Ortiz is on the phone, making it work, doing the best he can to bring the most players into this team. And Trevor Penning, I think, is going to be absolutely amazing. And guys, we have $111 million next year. We could sign him. We can sign Big O as well, too. So again, that's another offensive lineman, and that's another edge rusher that we have in the room and helps us this year and potentially longer term moving forward. So plenty to talk about, guys. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below. What would you grade these trades? Give it an A, give it a B, give it a B minus, and leave a comment down as to what you think. So let me know what you guys think. As always, Andrew Bolt Bros. See you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.